fat, it just comes with a lot more than making the choice to overeat or not exercise. And I think those are ingrained into the societal bias that I'm trying to fight. And so while, yes, you were born Asian and yes, I was born African American, I was also born fat. And as much as I've, tried to do things many times in my life to change being fat, it just hasn't worked for me. And so for some people, it's absolutely not a choice, and I stand by that.
I see. But with like, let's say like exercise and diet, right? Like, wouldn't 99% of people be able to at least lose some weight?
I think 99% would be, very like, I think that's a lot higher than the actuality.
Right.
And for me specifically with pulmonary hypertension, for a long time I wasn't allowed to leave my home. And then I wasn't allowed to do physical exercise like the average human being without monitoring my heart rate and monitoring my oxygen levels and doing things like that. So sometimes fitness and exercise doesn't look the same for everybody. And it also doesn't have to be something that is only tied to weight loss. Movement is great for everyone. Everyone should move their body. Everyone should participate in joyful movement. I believe that firmly. But some people can do movement every day, work out every day, and their body doesn't show these different, fluctuations in weight, positive or negative.
Yeah, but I think that's where I would maybe want to tap in. Like, what does their diet look like, right? I think there's a cliche that 80% of your results isn't at the gym, but more so your diet. What does like your diet and exercise regimen look like?
Yeah, for me, I am definitely getting more into movement now that I'm getting my mobility back and I'm really just, challenging myself to do a lot of things. When it comes to diet, I think that people are usually surprised by my diet in general. I think it really comes with being fat. People just assume you're eating, and if you're eating, you're eating shit, and it's not good for you, and you're making bad choices. That's not the case. I would say my diet consists of a lot of protein, so like chicken breasts and things like that. Do I eat sweets and stuff like that? Hell yeah, I do. I think everyone does, but it's not just all of what I'm consuming, and that can be said for a lot of fat people. I've met plenty of fat vegans. I've met plenty of fat people with different diets. We all eat differently, and our bodies are just diverse. And for me specifically, though, I don't eat as much as people think, and I actually live with an eating disorder. So that's affected me growing up, and also just living my life as a young adult. It's affected my diet and how I consume food, and my relationship with food.
So, kind of just going back to like the kind of fat equality bill of rights, right? If your mission is to kind of fight for, let's say, equality in healthcare, media, travel, aren't you kind of demanding more rights than, let's say, someone that is normal size to accommodate you?
I don't think that I'm asking for additional accommodations. I'm asking for accommodations that people don't really think that are necessary for someone who shows up in an able body that's in a smaller body, right? So, like I was saying, there are things that we can't access that every person that you could probably go and access very easily without doing research or checking things, right? And so, I think it comes down to making sure that we're asking for what we need. And this is just a way to formalize it and say, hey, we deserve rights to these things as well. And these things are something that we need to talk about and open up conversations about. I'm not asking for additional accommodations. I'm asking for us to all be equal, and that means making the world accessible to people of all sizes because bodies are diverse, and someone may weigh 100 pounds, someone may weigh 800 pounds, and we should all be able to access the same thing. So the things outlined in the Fat Equality Bill of Rights are legal protections for fighting discrimination of weight-based discrimination